Sandra. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join and then we'll get started. You are, yes, you're the first. Hopefully we'll get some more people on. I know it's quite late, it was probably the middle of the night in America, but we'll see. It's just me and you at the moment. Anybody else there, just say hi so I know that you're watching. Hi, Precious. So I'm looking for a pencil, which you would think I have loads of, but I actually can't find one at the moment. Hi, Susie, welcome. Can't find a pencil. I've got so many pens, it's ridiculous. And then I can't find one to write with and I can't find a pencil. Husband's always moaning at me. I can't find a pen to blooming write with, but you've got all these pens. Right, I'm just going to have to play it by ear. Hi Leah, hi Janada. Right, so now that we've got a few people on, I'll make a start. So what I'm going to be doing today is showing you this new book that I received from Rachel Reinert called In Bloom. And it's not a colouring book, but it does have some colouring elements in it. It's actually a step-by-step guide to how to draw flowers. Now, I'm thinking that this book is going to go hand in hand with Johanna Basford's new release, World of Flowers, because if you want to embellish any of Johanna's pages, any of her illustrations, and make them really unique and make them your own, you're going to want to know how to draw flowers, because if you want to add flowers in or do something to that illustration that's completely different to anybody else's, but you can't draw at all, just like me, you are going to need a bit of help. So I think that this is going to go hand in hand. So a bit about the book first of all. It's square, well it's kind of square, I think it's longer this way down. Let's have a ruler so we can see. It is 25 centimetres by 22.5 centimetres. It's got a beautiful thick cover. It's such good quality I can't describe. It's very, very thick, it's got loads of pages and it looks absolutely beautiful. It looks like a textbook that you'd find in an art studio or an art class. Hi Pickle, hi Nia, hi everybody that's joining. Okay, so I'll do a bit of a review on it and then we'll get into actually trying to draw some of the step-by-steps. So we've got a French flap this side, and it's just telling you that this book is full of very exotic blooms from all over the world. So the Americas, Africa, Asia, Europe and Australia. It's very, very thick paper and it's matte. So it's matte texture. It's not glossy. It feels really nice and thick. We've got a contents page here and it's just telling you all of the different flowers from all of those different places I just mentioned in the world. And then you've got a page showing you how to create floral arrangements like crowns and bouquets. And then it's got a three-page thing telling you how to colour flowers. So there's a bit of everything in this. Now I've got an introduction here from Rachel, and you might recognise her name because she was the creator of Colour Workshop, which was a bit like Helen Elliston's Colourist Special Effects books, showed you how to do all the different techniques in colouring. So this is one of her books. Now, it's just giving you an introduction about getting started. Flower anatomy, so that you know what each part of the flower is called and what it's for. It's a bit about tools that you can use here. I've got a fine liner here. It's a Copic multi-liner I'm working with. I can't find a pencil, but we're just going to have to do it with pen. Right, and so we start off with Flora of the Americas. Now, one thing that you might notice immediately about this book is the beautiful full colour pages. So these photographs are stunning. They've been arranged very beautifully and every single page has some colour and some flowers on there, which is great because you can just look at it. You don't have to Google it to see what it looks like and what the colours are like. You've got the actual flower there photographed for you. And then this is how the book works. So you've got the flower itself, you've got a little bit about the flower, you've got its name and it's kind of, you know, the not the professional name, what do you call it, like the technical name, the species name, and then it tells you where it's native to. And then you've got a step by step of every single piece of the flower. So even if you can't draw, theoretically you should be able to do this. Now I can't draw at all, as I've mentioned a few occasions, but I'm going to have a go at this. And then it just carries on the same. So you've got little succulents, you've got native to the Latin America and Caribbean, so these are very more exotic and tropical. You've got more commonly found flowers like the sunflower, poinsettia, that's the Christmas flower I call it. We've got peony, we've got dahlia, we've got, now we're moving on to Africa. So we have African violet, which is so delicate and beautiful. We've got the hibiscus. Hi everybody, sorry if I can't get to you at the moment. We've got the Kea lily, the bird of paradise, which I believe is in Johanna's book, so that'll be good if you wanted to draw more of those. We've got aloe, king protea, which is an awesome flower, I've never seen that before. We've got the gerbera daisy, or the gerbera daisy, I don't know how you say it. And then we have orchid. This has moved on to Asia. Camellia. Marigold. I've got some of those in my front garden. Crown of thorns. Begonia. Chrysanthemum. Stargazer lily. Lush Europe now we're on to. So this has bells of Ireland. Beautiful. Chamomile. Tulip, rose, sea holly, seen those a lot of times but I didn't know they were called that, carnation, gladiolus, Australian botanicals now, the craspedia, banksia, bottlebrush, kangaroo paw, pincushion protea, eucalyptus, protea, and then we move on to the floral arrangements. So this shows you how to create an arrangement of peonies, so how you can put them together and overlap them. This is how to do a bouquet, again similar type of thing. And then a flower crown, which you can see has been photographed here, absolutely stunning. And this is how to draw flowers in a circular kind of way. And now this is the bit on colouring flowers, which we'll all be interested in. So it shows you step by step how to colour a stargazer lily, and it tells you the numbers and names for Prismacolor pencils as well, which is handy. That's how it turns out. The same with a peony arrangement, so it tells you how to colour that. Stunning, absolutely beautiful. And then colouring the Kea lily with watercolours this time. So if you're into your paints, showing you how you can create that look. And that's the end. We've got a bit about the author, about Rachel and her previous books. Here's that colour workshop that I was talking about earlier. And there you go. So the book itself, the paper, as I've mentioned, is beautiful. And with it being matte, it's a great surface for you to actually colour straight onto. So if you wanted to use this as a reference book that you actually, colour in and draw in, you can definitely do that because the texture and the tooth is perfect. Right, so where shall we start? Have we got any suggestions on which one of these flowers you would like me to have a go at drawing? So I'll just wait a second, catch up in the comments. Hi Toadie, Spanish girl just landed in England. Wow, so are you here on holiday or have you moved? Hi Deanna, 3:25 in the morning in Washington State. What are you doing awake? Hi Nick, hi Pickle again. On auntie duties, oh how fun. Charlotte, hi Charlotte, new sub, love the videos, thank you. Hi Raisha. Okay, so I've got sunflower and rose at the moment. So I'll wait for a few more comments because that's equal at the moment, so I'm not sure which one to do. Susie B at QMD, hello. So I know that the rose was in the European botanical section. Here we go. How gorgeous are these photographs? I cannot get over how beautifully this book has been put together. Because you know, these kind of books, sometimes they can just have the step-by-steps and have the black and white ink, but I don't think I've ever seen a book as pretty as this that's had the time taken to actually photograph the flowers themselves. We've got a vote for carnation, another vote for rose. I think I'm going to go for rose, guys. So it's just telling you a bit about the history of the rose here and how it was used in the Roman period for confetti. And it's a wartime symbol in England. Right, let's go. So I've not got a pencil, I can't find one. So we're going straight in on pen. Scary, but we're just going to go for it. So, morning, Catherine. So number 1, it says, to draw a rose, start with the innermost folds of the petals. Draw a small coffee bean shape with a line down the middle. From there, add several more small folds in a circle around it. Right. Are you ready for this, guys? Maybe I should zoom a little bit so you can see. Okay. So it says a coffee bean. So I would say that's a coffee bean. Don't drink coffee, but pretty sure. A line down the middle. I can't actually see a line down the middle of this. Unless she means that line there, I don't know. Let's just try and emulate exactly what she's done. So, got a little bit of a curve there, and an oval under here. Then we've got a line straight down, which goes quite square, like a rounded square, and that goes over here and joins onto the top. Then we go down, square again, diagonal and curved around to there, I think. Okay, next step, continue drawing more folds of petals, getting larger and larger with each layer. The layers will look like thin mountain shapes coming to a soft point and curving around one another in a circle. Okay, so that's what we're going for. So this is the bit that we've done already that's in the grey. So helpfully they've been done in different colours so you can see the actual next step rather than thinking it's all one thing, if you know what I mean. So let's start from here. I'll do a curve all the way around to there. And then another one that starts about here, curves all the way around and then points out. Then around, down. Obviously it's not going to be exactly the same, but I'm just trying my best. Then we have another curve from here which sort of meets that one. And then another one follows this one around and comes out a little bit. Making sure I've got the right lines. I'll come out again with this one and make a little bit of a shape there. I think that's looking similar, hopefully. Right, now step 3, it says draw the next layer of petals with larger mountain shapes. The rose folds are now opening up, so draw large petals with a few jagged sections at the top. These are fairly abstract shapes, so you can be liberal about adding variations. That's really good. I like to hear that. Okay, so from this part, we have a line up and a line down, and that line follows all the way around. Oh, I missed a line. Hang on a second. I missed one that goes around there. There we go. So we have a line that goes all the way down and follows that curve and joins on here. Then we have another, I hope this isn't boring, guys. I just thought you might like to see me try and attempt this so you can see if the book really does give you non-drawers, non-artists, an easy way to draw flowers. So I've done that bit, and then again from the top of here we've got a little bit of a bumpy area, and that goes down into a narrow shape which is supposed to join on here. Obviously you don't have to make it exactly the same as this, but I'm trying that, you know, trying it this way just to try and replicate it. Now we have another bit that comes out of here and goes quite largely all the way around. So I am just doing this quite freehand, you know, I'm not particularly following exactly what she's doing, but I'm trying my best. And then, okay, so let's do this one. That comes up from the same area that we started out with the last bit. It goes out and back in, and then it curves around here, like that. Mine's looking a bit narrower than hers. Hers looks quite wide. Maybe I should try and widen it. So, big hump, another big hump, a V in, and then a nice curve right around to there. That's okay, I think. I'm pretty happy with that. Clara, the book is called In Bloom by Rachel Reinert. Okay, next up we've got step 4. Can you still see me? Yeah. So step 4 is add the final layer of opened petals, evening out the whole rose so that it's a rough circular shape all the way around. Draw a few deep cuts into the tops of some of the petals. Right. So again, we've got this grey area that we've already done, and then we've got the black lines that represent this step. Thanks, Nick. Did I miss a petal? Where did I miss a petal? Okay. Oh, I did. You're right. The bottom one. Let me just go back in and do that. So it's down and then up like that. There we go. Right. Step 4. I'm going to start at the top, I think. So from here, or around about here, we curve all the way around, quite wobbly, and end up here. Then from there, we take this kind of rough, jagged mountain type thing that Rachel described and bring it all the way around to there. Pick it straight back up here and follow it around again. Keep in these kind of bumpy lines. That goes to there. Then we've got another petal that comes out here. We've got a point and a V and more bumps. This is getting big, guys. More bumps, and then that goes around to about there. Another one comes out here and quite flat, then a big V and a big bump. Probably too big a bump there, but hey ho. And then that has to join onto this bit, which is a point, and then a curve, and then that comes straight out here to there. Very deep wobbly V, and up and in. Then finally, I think we've got this bit which goes out to a sharp point and down, down again, and in, which looks very straight. It looks quite odd. Probably done it too straight, but hey ho. Right. Thank you, CB. Now then, step 5, final step, add the detail lines. I think that's what's going to make this kind of look a bit more like a rose and less like a weird shape that I've just drawn with my eyes closed. Add detail lines by drawing short strokes upward from the base of each petal, as well as downward in varying lengths from the tips of the petals. Outline and darken the petal lines where they overlap to create contrast. Right, so now obviously if you are doing this in World of Flowers or any other book, you're going to have to do this on a smaller scale. I've gone huge with this. It's huger than the one that's in the book. But you're going to have to try and scale it down if you want to do that. So let's add in some of these lines. So we've got a line here. Like I said, you don't have to follow Rachel's, lines to the T. But I am, just because I literally can't draw at all, and if I try and do it myself out of my own head, it's going to look horrendous. So let's try on there and here. I hope everybody's been well, by the way. I've not been on for a while. I've not done a live for a long time. I hope everybody enjoyed watching the handing out candy colour along that I did. Really enjoyed doing that. So I've had a lot going on here recently. I think that I may be moving house, but it's all up in the air, and me being a very highly anxious person, having all of this uncertainty is really affecting me. You know, I've not been very well anxiety-wise at all. So I've been trying to combat that and trying to keep myself sane, basically. I've been doing an awful lot of cleaning. That seems to keep me occupied a bit more than colouring does, because I can still sit and think when I'm colouring, whereas when I'm cleaning, I sort of, because it's more physical, it takes the thoughts away a little bit. But yes, I've been very, very anxious. I wonder if I could also pick anybody's brain. This has nothing to do with colouring whatsoever. It's a bit of a medical issue. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. So the other day I was painting with a roller, painting a wall, and all of a sudden I felt like someone had taken a taser to the top of my back, on the right hand side, just where my shoulder blade, at the bottom of the shoulder blade. Honestly, it was like an electrical shock. It wasn't a pain like, you know, if you put a hammer on your hand. It wasn't a pain like that. It was an electric pain. It was just horrible. And it lasted for a couple of minutes, and then it went away, but it still aches. It really aches, and it feels very pinchy, and, you know, I can't really move my arm a lot without it making me sort of take a gasp of breath. Now I'm thinking, is it a pinched nerve? I don't know, but all I was doing was rollering paint on a wall. So I don't know, something's happened there, but it definitely feels like a nerve pain rather than anything else. I've never had one before, so what do you guys think? Has anybody else had similar? Because I am a hypochondriac, as well as everything else that blights me, so it would be nice to know what you all think, and if there's anything I can do to get rid of it. Oh, thank you, Pickle. Thanks, Nick. I need to make these a little bit thicker, I think, where they overlap. Hi, Anastasia. I've got one here that sort of comes out to a point. Then we've got this one here and here. A couple of points here, and then thick here. Muscle spasm. Yeah, it definitely could be. It's weird because since it happened, which was about, well, it was Saturday and it's now Wednesday, so since it happened, it's actually, the pain's gone down, and then today it's worse than it was the last few days, which is weird. But I do have an awful lot to do kind of physically with the painting and decorating and stuff, because I want to leave this house perfect for the next tenant. I'm not one of these that will just up and leave. I am decorating the whole house. I'm doing all the woodwork as well, glossing it all, because that's how we found it, so that's how we'll leave it, you know. That's just what I'm like. And then I'm going to have to probably decorate the new place as well. So I've got an awful lot to do, and that's not to mention the packing and things like that, you know. It doesn't hurt like hell, but it's so difficult to... Let me just move it so I can sort of get a feel for it again. Yeah, it's right tucked underneath my right shoulder blade at the bottom. And it's like, you know when you... Because my back's slightly curved, and you know when you try and straighten your back and sit up and have a good posture, if I try and do that now, it's making me go, you know? It's like, oh, not nice. bath. Oh, it just got me then. Yeah, it is hard. It is repetitive, definitely. Let's see, I don't want to miss out any bits. So, got that. Sorry if I'm just talking to myself here. Hi Sharon, 3:45 AM. You're another one that's up in the dead of night. What's going on? So we should make this line a bit thicker, it says. I'm not going to try and colour this, by the way, because this is going to take an awful lot of pencil lead, this huge flower that I've drawn. But maybe we'll do another one and I'll colour that and try and do it slightly smaller. So we've got a bit of a line down here. A bit thicker. Got nothing there, but we've got some here. So yeah, it's either going to be a nerve pain or a muscle pain. That's true, Precious, definitely, because anxiety and stress, it can give you a lot of physical symptoms, and that's something that really bugs me, because as if you haven't got enough going on in your head, then you've got to have physical symptoms. It's like when my nana died, obviously I was just out of this world upset, and I started getting backache. You know, in the days after she died, I had such bad backache, and I read online that backache is the #1 symptom, physical symptom of grief. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because you do a lot of crying and you're hunched over and tensing those muscles, or whether it's just like having the weight of the world on your shoulders, literally. But it's just, oh, it's annoying. Oh, you're a nurse, Sharon, that's why you're awake so late. If you're a nurse, can you tell me what this back pain could be? Please. Okay, yeah. I've had the most horrendous anxiety. Oh my goodness, I was getting really bad with it last week. You know, I already suffer from IBS and a lot of gut problems anyway, but the anxiety just makes that 10 million times worse. So I've had all that. I've gone gluten-free just to try and ease it up a little bit, you know, my stomach and everything, because I was just getting awful stomachs all day, every day, and I wasn't even eating a lot either. So it couldn't have been what I was eating, but I've decided to go gluten-free for a while at least, just to see if that will calm it down, and it seems to have so far, touch wood. So I've got a few more lines here. I'm sorry if this is taking so long, guys, but I find it hard to concentrate and talk at the same time. I'm so sorry to hear that, Leah. I know exactly how horrible it is. I really do. I'm struggling massively at the moment. It's because it's the not knowing as well. I'm sure I've got some type of autism bundled in with everything as well, because my son's autistic, and I'm sure that I also suffer, or well, not suffer, but you know, show symptoms and signs, because it's like any normal person would just think, oh, you know, we haven't heard anything yet, but just wait and see, and we'll get a letter at some point, and blah blah blah. But me, I'm literally thinking about it all day, every day. I'm dreaming about it at night. I'm constantly wondering what's going on, why we're in limbo. I don't even know the property, you know, what it looks like, anything like that. So it's really, really, it's the not knowing which is getting to me at the moment. And my son, with his autism, he has a kind of a similar thing where he'll make up these catastrophes in his mind that haven't happened, but he gets really anxious over it. So, you know, I'm thinking maybe it's kind of runs in the family. I know anxiety runs in the family anyway, because my nana and my mum were both huge whittlers and worriers. So it's just something I've got to deal with, I guess. Just looking at the comments. I'm sorry to hear that, Precious. Yeah, it is like a shooting pain, Charlotte, as well. Yeah, definitely. It's a shooting, stabbing, like, oh, sort of pain, where it just takes your breath for that moment. And if you move any sort of jagged movements or quick movements, it really gets you. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, it could also be OCD as well, definitely. I hate not knowing, I hate it. I'm also someone that doesn't have any patience either. I've got no patience for anything. I hate waiting. Waiting is like torturous to me. So having to just sit around and wait for news, it's doing my head in. But for some reason it just gives me this huge anxiety, which sort of presents as I feel really sick, you know, belly aches, can't breathe properly, feel just on edge, buzzing, a lot of nervous energy, can't stop moving, need to be constantly distracting myself all the time, hence the cleaning, you know, things like that. So not good. I'm from the UK in the Midlands, a place called Nottinghamshire. Thank you. Thanks everybody for your understanding and your sympathy. Yeah, it does. If I knew that what was happening and if I knew I could get started with packing and things like that, then I'd have something to occupy my mind. I'd have a goal to work towards to. God, this is really hard. To work toward to. God, that's really difficult to say. And I wouldn't be so in the dark about things. So I'm just going around thickening some of these lines, by the way, guys. I know this is taking forever. But even though this isn't a colouring book, I knew that you guys would like to see it. Because I know a lot of people, even though colouring is not a competition, it's not a contest, it's not, you know, about levels of skill and things like that, it's supposed to be an enjoyable activity. I know that a lot of people get really daunted by these very professional colourists who can add things into their pages and really make them unique and totally different sometimes to how they looked originally, and it's very daunting for non-artists like me. So this book, with it showing you how to draw these very realistic looking flowers step by step, I do think it's going to help, like I say, especially in World of Flowers, if that's something you're wanting to do in the book. It's going to help a lot of colourists to personalise their artwork and be really proud of something they've created as opposed to just coloured in. Well, for me anyway. Oh, you're in Birmingham. I've been there. How many times have I been there? Obviously, I've been to the airport a few times. I think most people have that live around here. And I also went to the Bull Ring not too long ago. I don't know, maybe a couple of years ago with my husband. We went just to have a look around there. I can't remember too much about it, to be honest. And I used to live in Tamworth for a short time, which is, it's in Staffordshire, but it's not far from Birmingham. Now then, just making sure I've got all the lines where they need to be. Thank you, Precious. I think it looks all right. Yeah, I've got zero tolerance too for anything like that. Anything. I just cannot wait. Waiting is torturous. But some people are really chill. And I wish I was like that. I wish I could be. My husband's like, you know, don't worry about it. It'll happen when it happens and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I just hate it. I feel I need to know. Right. Bit more lines here in some darker areas. No, I haven't tried those. Mars Graphic Duo. I've never even heard of those. I'll have to have a look. Oh yeah, I know where Walsall is. Claire, you could have done the same with the real rose. I think you are an artist, but you don't believe it yet. Oh, thank you. I don't think I am, but you know, that's not just me fishing for compliments at all. If I try and draw something out of my own head, it just ends up looking like a kid's done it. So, but you know, I did improve my colouring a lot over the past 4.5 years since I very first started the blog. And so I know that I'm a pretty good colourist, and I'm not saying that to boast at all. I'm just being honest. I know that I can do pretty nice work in colouring books, but as for drawing, I have not got that ability. I've not got it yet anyway. Maybe if I practiced more, like with everything, I would get that ability sort of naturally occur. But yeah, Leah, if anybody ever needs to chat about anything, you know, my inbox on the page is always open. Anything to do with anxiety or anything, even if it's not colouring, if you just want to chat, I'm always here, and I will try and get back to you as quick as possible. Obviously I've got a lot of stuff going on, but anybody can message me anytime if they just want to chat, because I know what it's like. And don't forget that this blog started because of mental health and anxiety, so I'm a big advocate of talking. Maybe too much sometimes, talk too much and annoy people and bore people, but right, I'm going to say that that's looking pretty similar to how Rachel's done it, maybe just a bit darker in the centre. There we go. So let me have a look at it now that I've got it out here. I'm thinking maybe I should bring some of these in a little bit more. And maybe a few flicks here. Right, so that is it. That's my rose. Now what do you think? Let's compare. Let's compare Rachel's and mine. Okay, so I'm thinking that looks pretty darn good. I think I've done the point a little bit too far out here, but as for everything else, I think if I'd have done this in a pencil first and I was able to change that, I would. But I'm pretty happy with that. That looks really realistic, doesn't it? I can imagine with that being coloured it would look beautiful, but I'm not wasting pencils on that because it's so big. It's like half the size or 3/4 of the size of an A4 sheet of paper. Just looking at comments. Oh, thanks, Pickle. Yeah. Totally understand everybody on here. Really do. You're not alone. Should I do another one? Oh, God, that pain just took my breath away then. Shall I do another one, guys? Shall I do that sunflower? And maybe try and do it a bit smaller. So if you're not getting bored and you want to see me do another, you can keep watching. I've like forgotten. Oh, here we go. Sunflower. So native to North America. Native to North America, I didn't know that. There's so many sunflowers over here, you wouldn't think it was. Wildflowers known for being hardy and able to survive in extreme heat, thriving in all 50 US states. Are there 50 US states? I thought there were 52. Oh my gosh, my geography is horrendous. Sunflowers were cultivated by Native Americans as far back as 3000 BC for food and medicine. They can reach up to 3 meters high, and each sunflower head is made up of thousands of tiny flowers. That is incredible. You wouldn't think it, would you? These flowers that you see so often. Or I do anyway. Right. Let's turn you over. Let's try and do this on a smaller scale, guys. Okay. So, got everything in camera, yep. So loosely draw 2 large circles, one within the other, like a cracked egg. So I'm going to do this smaller. Oh, it's not too bad actually. Completely fill in the inner circle with many, many tiny circles. They don't have to be perfect. Fill in any white gaps with black. So I'll do loads of little circles. Just fill in some gaps. It's looking okay. I've got quite a thick pen really. What's this? 0.3. She did it quite wobbly actually, that circle, and I've done it quite straight for once, but hey ho. Right, next draw in the disc florets, or many tiny flowers going around the centre. These are shaped like ovals tapered on each side. Start from the edge of the centre circle and work outward. Right, I'm going to have to really look at this now. So it looks as if she's gone around doing loads of little V's first. and then separate little long ovals that taper out. So I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to be able to do with this thick pen. I'll give it a go. "50 states in the summer." All right, okay. Oh, lovely. Yeah, I'm sure there were 52 states. Where have I got that from? So I'm just putting little ones in the middle. As I say, the pen's probably too thick really to get defined shapes going on with space in the middle, but hopefully it will do when the final thing's complete. Right, step 4. Now begin to draw the petals around the sunflower head. Start off with 6 or 7 spaced evenly around the head. They look like stretched out teardrop shapes with some of them curving in different directions. Right. That is a fantastic idea, Claudia. Definitely. Yeah, I've been starting to go for a bit more walks lately, but I always end up going to the street where I think I'm moving to and trying to look at the house, and yeah, it's I just can't get away from it really. Right, so I'm gonna trying to keep this on a small scale. There's one, that's pretty good. This one's kind of like a diamond. I don't think I'm going to be able to get 6 or 7 on here because I've spaced them too far already, but I'll try. I'm so quiet when I'm doing this, sorry guys. Yeah, definitely. Spent some time doing a really good one, scan it and print it off. Yeah. And that's your own work, so you know you don't have any copyright restrictions because it's your own drawing. Even though you're following a tutorial, your drawing is never going to be exactly the same as the one in the book. So right, so I think that'll do, kind of, for now. Let's see what the next step is. So move on to the next bit. There we go. Number 5, draw the rest of the petals as in the previous step, going around the head of the flower in a circle. They should all be around the same length with about 3 layers overlapping slightly. Vary a few here and there with thinner tips or curved edges for variety. Okay, this is where it could all go wrong. Sketch a large circle to act as a guide in order to keep the petals the same length when drawing them. Well, I haven't got a pencil, so that's going to be pretty difficult, but I'm just going to try and imagine there's like a larger circle in play here. Right, so let's do some overlaps. This looks weird. This one looks weird. Okay. I wish I was on the Vegas Strip, Pickle. Just looking at your comments, guys. Right. This looks really weird. I hope I'm... Oh dear, right, okay. Don't think too far ahead, Claire. That's another thing, guys. I don't know. I always like to try and help people, and because I get a lot of help from others online, you know, with anxiety and stuff like that. So I don't know whether any of you have come across this kind of saying or coping technique with anxiety, but if you have an anxiety like me where you get really overwhelmed and that's what causes your panic attacks, the best thing that you can try and do is to take things one step at a time, literally baby steps. So I think I've talked about this on here before, that when I had a bit of a nervous breakdown, I think it was last April, everything was so overwhelming that the only thing that helped me was to really strip back everything down to the bare basics. So instead of all these thoughts going around my head and thinking this is what I've got to do and blah 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 blah, thinking about the future too much, I made myself have one goal every single day, and if that goal was completed, then I would have achieved what I needed to achieve that day. So for instance, on day one, I knew that we needed some batteries for one of the kids' toys or something like that. So that was my goal that day, was to go out and get the batteries. And if I'd done that, that was it. I didn't have to worry about anything else. And all I was focused on was being able to go out and get these batteries and come home. And focusing on that and not worrying about a million things at once really, really helped me. And every time I get really anxious now, I have to strip back to basics. So if that helps anyone, I'll be really happy. And I think this flower's going super weird. Let's try and do some longer ones. So yeah, that's what I have to do anyway, because I get super overwhelmed with things. Oh God, I think I'm going too far with this now. I've got to make it circular though. Why am I doing these leaves so fat? I think I've just done too many layers, guys. So this is not a sunflower, it's something else completely. Because look at how small this centre section is compared to the width of the petals, and look at how big it is on the photo. Can anybody identify this flower that I've drawn that's supposed to be a sunflower? Oh dear. I don't think this is going to be able to be saved actually. I think I should have stuck with the rose and quit while I was ahead. Yeah, maybe it's a dahlia. Definitely meant for this to be a dahlia for sure. Let's put some lines in. Let's see if that changes anything. It won't, but let's just see. Fill in any white spaces between the disc florets with black and draw several long spaced outlines. So I need to draw some black in here. I'm totally being rough with it now because I know that it's crap. But you know, we've had a go. It's a flower of some sort anyway. No one's going to know, are they? If you did it in your colouring book, and no one's going to know you meant to do a sunflower. They're just going to say, oh, you did a really pretty flower. Let's draw some lines. Little ones as well. Yeah, poinsettia. That's how I say it anyway, probably saying it wrong. Thank you, May. I'm trying best to do this, but it turned out like this. So maybe it's because I'm really distracted, but that's just me being, you know, trying to find an excuse for not doing it right. Maybe when Rachel watches this, if she watches it, she might tell me what this could be. But like I said, it doesn't really matter because nobody's going to know what you meant to draw. Thanks, Deanna. Hello to everybody that's joined since I last said hi. So I'm just drawing, I'm just messing about with this new book that I've got called In Bloom by Rachel Reinert. And she's showing you how to draw realistic florals from all over the world, step by step. Hi Tyrena. Hi Susan. The lines are making it look better, guys. It still doesn't look like a sunflower, but it looks like something better now. We've created our own hybrid. Do you know what? I actually really like this now. It looks really realistic, doesn't it? Or is it just me? Maybe I need to darken the inner of the leaves a little bit to give it more of a 3D look. Thank you, Claudia. I'm going to flip to the dahlia in a minute and have a look, because there is a dahlia in this book. Got some darker areas between the layers. So has everybody started the Christmas shopping yet? The dreaded C word. I really am struggling with my kids this year. There's certain things that they want, but it's like only a few things and not enough really. I mean, I know that you don't have to have quantity, but it's literally like my little ones ask for a ukulele and that's it. So I'm having to do all the thinking here, which is never good. It's really hard as well when they get older. Like when they're younger, there's so many little shiny, bright, light up things that you can get that just distract them really, and it's not, you know, you don't have to think a lot about it, but when they get older, it's really difficult. So I've got a 12, almost 13-year-old, and I've got a 10-year-old. I'm thinking what I might do this year, instead of having the big pile of Christmas presents that they come down to, is just having the few presents that they've asked for, and then sort of spending what I would have spent on presents on the bedrooms, because obviously we are getting this new house and I want to decorate it to our own tastes, so I want them to have their rooms how they want it. So maybe it'd be worth me doing that and just saying, look, this Christmas it's all about the bedrooms with the new house and stuff. I don't know if this shading's making it look any better, but I just thought it might separate the layers of the petals a little bit and look a bit more 3D. Hi Charlotte. So top tip, if you're going to use this book, whatever your flower turns out like, it doesn't matter, because there's so many different flowers in the world. It could be a real flower, who would even know? And also try and do a bit more shading in it and more lines, and it creates a more realistic look, I think anyway. So what have you got for your 11-year-old sheet? Because I've got a 12, 13-year-old and I've got a 10-year-old, so I'm in the middle there, but I'd love to know what all you guys are picking for your kids' presents this year, just to give me a few ideas. Oh, Suze, that's brilliant. I hope he's feeling better, by the way. Or getting there anyway. I know it's a long road. Oh, my kids aren't into Star Wars because none of us are either. I've never seen a Star Wars film. I know some people think that's just sacrilege, but it doesn't interest me in the slightest. Right then, so there we go. I've added in a ton of lines and I think it looks awesome. I'm really pleased. It's not a sunflower, but it's the best flower I've ever drawn. And I did it quite quickly and I did it while distracted talking to all you guys as well. So happy. I'm going to look for that dahlia now and see if it looks anything like it. Now then, where do dahlias come from, guys? Where am I going to find it in this book? There's a freaking contents page at the front. What am I doing? Right, dahlia. There we go, page 29. Just make things harder for myself, don't I? Page 29. Dahlia. Oh, yes. Oh, it does. Look, apart from those kind of little bits in the middle, it does look like a dahlia. Love it. Now, can you imagine if I'd drawn this on a smaller scale in World of Flowers and done a few different ones? It would have been awesome. And this is the rose, don't forget. And I can't draw at all. So to say that I can't draw and I've done this, I think everybody needs to get a copy of this book and draw. And at least try it anyway. So shall I put a bit of colour on this sunflower or dahlia, whatever it is? Bit of colour on it and then that'll be it, because I don't want to bore you all. What shall I use? Let's use these Graph Masters because they're the first thing that's come to my hand. So dahlia, I'm thinking pinky purple yellowy. Yeah, I'll put the link for this in the description for this book after I've finished so that you can find it. Right, let's do some pink. I actually quite like it as monochrome, to be honest. My favourite pens, as for alcohol markers, it would probably be the Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. Water-based, I do like Staedtler Triflos. I like Tombow. These are Graphmaster alcohol markers that I'm using at the moment. So has anybody been watching Making a Murderer on Netflix? Because I've just watched the first 2 episodes of the new series last night with my husband. And you might already know, I think I've probably talked about it before. But I wrote to Brendan, who is the one of the guys who was sent down for the crime. I wrote to him a few times, but I've not wrote to him for a while, so I should probably send him a letter and see how he's doing once I've caught up with the case. But yeah, just horrendous story. If you haven't watched it, you need to, because it's just awful how these guys have been so unjustly treated, especially Brendan. I mean both of them really, because Stephen's had so much of his life incarcerated for nothing, for innocent, you know. But Brendan, he really reminds me of my brother, who has Asperger's, and it really hit me hard, that first series. That's why I started writing to him. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, you need to. You'll be screaming at your TV. believe me. I've also just finished The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. Really enjoyed that. Thought it was very well written. Now let's add some yellow in to the tips here. Went to see the new Halloween film in cinemas the other night. It was okay, you know, I didn't think it was amazing or anything. Certainly not as amazing and brilliant as it's being made out to be in the media and with Jamie Lee Curtis's interviews and things like that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was alright. Right then, so what do we think? So I've added some colour. I think it's beautiful actually. Even though I've done it very, very roughly, I've not, you know, I've gone out of the lines and everything. I just think it's lovely. I think it's really realistic and I'm very happy that I've managed to create that actually. So anyway, this is the book that we're all talking about today. It's called In Bloom. It's by Rachel Reinert and it's a step-by-step guide to drawing lush florals. You can go and do this in World of Flowers to personalise your pages, make them unique. If you don't draw like me, you can use this book to help you get started and create something incredible, hopefully. And it's just got such a variety and the full colour pages are absolutely beautiful. The way that they've actually taken the real flower and photographed them so that you have something to reference within the book. The paper's very, very thick. It feels like it would take loads of different mediums if you chose to colour in the book. And yeah, I think it's beautiful. So I'm going to go now and I'm going to go and put the link for this in the description of this video so that you can go and buy it. Get yourself a copy. If you do, I would love to know and I would love to see your tries at this. So if you want to tag me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or anywhere, I will have a good look and I'm sure that we're going to have fun with this book. I will definitely be using this in one of my World of Flowers pictures and I will tell you when I do so that you can identify the flowers that are mine and the flowers that are Johanna's, which is probably going to be very, very easy to identify, to be fair. But yeah, I'm really excited. So there we go, In Bloom, Rachel Reinert. Thank you so much for sitting and talking to me. I'll just read through the comments before I go in case I've missed anything. I do love my creepy stuff, yes I do. Yeah, bye everyone, thank you for joining. And I hope this back pain will go, I'll let you know in the next video if it's gone or not. Bye everyone. Right, I will see you soon and thank you for watching and keeping me company. Bye!